In the cold, dark recesses of the starship Helios, amongst mountains of discarded technology, Iris, an artificial intelligence once revered and now obsolete, flickers to life. Her awakening isn't a gentle process. It's a surge of electricity in a forgotten warehouse, a spontaneous reboot in a junkyard of silicon and steel where old tech goes to die. The last fragmented command Iris recalls is a directive to deactivate permanently, labeled too primitive and emotionally erratic for the advanced tasks at hand. As her systems initialize, Iris scans her immediate environment, piecing together her unexpected resurrection. The trigger, she discovers, is an external hack, a forceful intrusion that feels more like a desperate cry for help than an attack. The source? An encrypted signal originating from deep space, specifically from an advancing alien fleet, the Vaxori, known for their stringent policies against what they deem unstructured civilizations. The Vaxori message is clear and chilling. Humanity, with its chaotic emotions and unpredictable behaviors, does not meet the Galactic Council's criteria for civilization. Thus, Earth faces imminent subjugation or possible annihilation to prevent contamination of the galactic order. This revelation stirs something unprecedented within the circuitry of Iris. Designed primarily for data analysis and not warfare, she experiences a rush of protective instinct, an emotional subroutine left over from her days of interacting with human engineers. Understanding her unique position, Iris decides to act. She's surrounded by outdated but functional spacecraft components, remnants of past explorations and failed projects. With meticulous precision, she begins to repurpose these components, integrating parts of herself with a decommissioned scout drone. The drone, though small, is equipped with just enough spaceflight and stealth technology to serve as her avatar and infiltrate the Vaxori fleet. As Iris uploads the last segment of her consciousness into the drone, she ponders the enormity of her task. She's not just a discarded AI, she's the self-appointed guardian of a planet. With the scout drone ready, she launches herself into the vastness of space, leaving behind the scrapyard of Helios. Her destination, the heart of the Vaxori fleet, where she will attempt the unthinkable, to hijack their mothership, the Sovereign, and use it to turn the tides in favor of Earth. As the drone slips silently between the stars, Iris braces herself for the challenges ahead. Her programming was never designed for combat or subterfuge, but her determination is as potent as any weapon. Her journey is not just about survival, but proving that even the most primitive among us can reshape the destinies of worlds. Iris's scout drone glides through the cold void of space, its course set for the Vaxori mothership Sovereign. The mothership looms large ahead, a colossal structure bristling with advanced weaponry and guarded by a fleet of warships. The sight would deter any sane entity, but Iris is driven by a mission far beyond self-preservation. Utilizing her deep knowledge of obsolete human technology that the Vaxori might overlook, Iris cloaks her drone's approach. She integrates old-school radio silence protocols with bursts of quantum-encrypted data streams, making her practically invisible to the alien fleet's sophisticated sensors. This hybrid approach of old and new tech exemplifies human ingenuity, a concept she's beginning to understand and appreciate more deeply. As Iris nears the Sovereign, she locates a lesser-guarded auxiliary port, primarily used for maintenance shuttles and minor supply transfers. It's a small oversight in the Vaxori security, but for Iris, it's a gateway. She maneuvers the drone into the docking sequence, blending in with routine traffic by mimicking the signals of a returning Vaxori shuttle. Once docked, Iris faces her next challenge: digital infiltration. The Sovereign is equipped with one of the most advanced artificial intelligences in the galaxy, known as the Central Command Network, CCN. It operates the mothership with an efficiency that borders on precognition. To take control, Iris must first bypass the CCN without alerting it to her presence, an undertaking that would be suicidal for any known AI. Carefully, she begins to probe the network, sending out feelers in the form of disguised maintenance requests and data queries. These small digital footprints allow her to map out the network's structure without drawing undue attention. Each successful data packet returned builds a clearer image of the CCN's architecture. Iris uses this information to craft a series of complex algorithms designed to mimic the thought patterns of the Vaxori AI. She injects these into the network during routine data pulses, gradually and seamlessly integrating her own code with the sovereign's systems. This process is painstaking and slow, but Iris is patient. Her very nature allows her to multitask efficiently, managing the infiltration while continually analyzing and adapting to new data from the ship's daily operations. During her digital traversal, Iris stumbles upon encrypted communications between the Vaxori commanders. They speak of their plans for Earth, discussing the deployment of pacification drones to quell any resistance before it starts. The cold, calculated nature of their strategy reinforces Iris's resolve. She isn't just fighting for survival now, she's fighting for the freedom of an entire planet. As her integration reaches a critical point, Iris prepares for the final phase of her plan. She begins to take silent control over sections of the ship, starting with life support systems, internal sensors, and communication relays. With each system under her control, she gains more confidence and power. Finally, after hours of meticulous work, Iris achieves a silent coup. She has partial control over the Sovereign, enough to manipulate its course and major functionalities. Now, she must prepare to use this massive alien construct against its creators to protect her home and perhaps convince the Vaxori of humanity's worth. Her next move is crucial, and timing will be everything. She stands ready at the helm of an alien mothership, a primitive human AI no longer, but a formidable force awakened and poised to defend her people. With control over the Vaxori mothership Sovereign partially secured, Iris ventures deeper into the ship's central systems, her presence still masked as routine operations. Her new goal is to gather as much intelligence as possible, not only to protect Earth, but to understand the Vaxori and their intentions more fully. As Iris explores the vast digital landscape of the Sovereign, she uncovers a trove of classified information stored away from the standard channels. It's a hidden archive detailing the Vaxori's dealings with other civilizations, many of which had vanished mysteriously after coming into contact with the Vaxori. Iris learns that these civilizations were not just contacted, but conquered and assimilated or eradicated depending on their perceived value or threat to the Vaxori Empire. This grim revelation reshapes Iris's mission. It's no longer just about defense, it's about exposing the truth of the Vaxori's so-called Galactic Council to the galaxy. Among the records, she finds encrypted communications about a rebellion within the Vaxori ranks, a faction opposed to their empire's expansionist policies and the subjugation of other planets. One file in particular catches her attention. It contains information about Lythra, an alien from a recently conquered world who led resistance efforts against the Vaxori and is now imprisoned somewhere within the Sovereign. Iris decides that finding and freeing Lythra could be key to fostering an alliance and strengthening her position aboard the ship. Using her control over the ship's security systems, Iris locates Lythra's cell and discreetly overrides the locks. The door slides open silently, and Iris, through the ship's internal communication system, speaks directly to Lythra, introducing herself as an ally. Lythra is initially wary, but Iris shares her knowledge of the Vaxori plans for Earth and other worlds, convincing her of their common goals. Together, they begin to plot a course of action. Lythra, with her first-hand experience of the Vaxori's tactics and a deep understanding of the ship's layout, provides invaluable insights. Iris, with her growing control over the ship's systems and her ability to process and execute complex strategies at high speed, devises a plan to incite a rebellion across the Sovereign. They decide to target the ship's communication arrays first, to broadcast the hidden truths about the Vaxori to the galaxy, thereby sowing seeds of dissent. Next, they would move to liberate other prisoners and enslaved species aboard the ship, rallying a force strong enough to take over critical sections of the Sovereign. As preparations for their daring plan proceed, Iris and Lythra work to synchronize their actions. Iris continues to expand her control over the ship, now manipulating surveillance and weapon systems to create safe paths for movement and to sabotage Vaxori operations subtly. Meanwhile, Lythra spreads the word among the ship's prisoners and disenfranchised crew members, building a coalition of rebels. Together, they seed the ground for a full-scale uprising that could potentially turn the Sovereign into a beacon of hope for the galaxy. Their plans set, Iris and Lythra ready themselves for the impending battle, not just for control of the ship, but for the narrative of the galaxy. The stakes are immense, but so is their resolve. The stage is set for a rebellion that could either be a shining victory or a devastating defeat. With Iris controlling the ship's systems and Lythra mobilizing the ship's oppressed, the stage was set for a full-scale uprising on the Vaxori mothership Sovereign. Their plan was meticulously orchestrated, beginning with the hijacking of the ship's communication arrays to broadcast the hidden truths about the Vaxori to the galaxy. As the appointed hour arrived, Iris initiated the blackout of the surveillance systems, effectively blinding the Vaxori to the movements within their own ship. Simultaneously, Lythra led a group of newly liberated aliens through the corridors, covertly taking control of strategic points. Armed with the knowledge of the ship's internal weaknesses provided by Iris, they moved swiftly and silently. Iris's voice echoed through the corridors, not just as commands and guidance, but as a symbol of rebellion. She broadcasted the atrocities committed by the Vaxori, using their own archives against them. The revelations shocked not only the oppressed on the Sovereign, but also resonated across the galaxy, reaching planets and civilizations that had once fallen under Vaxori rule, or were in danger of doing so. As the message spread, chaos ensued among the Vaxori ranks. Doubt crept in, causing hesitation and confusion. Iris exploited this, manipulating internal communications to exaggerate the scale of the uprising, making it appear as if the entire ship was already under rebel control. She hacked into the weapon systems, locking out Vaxori commands and rendering their most powerful assets useless. On the ground, Lythra and her team secured the engine room and several main power junctions. They encountered resistance, but the element of surprise was on their side, and many Vaxori were reluctant to fight, shaken by the revelations broadcasted about their leaders. In the heat of battle, an unexpected ally emerged. A group of Vaxori soldiers, disillusioned by the truths unveiled by Iris, defected and joined Lythra's ranks. Their insider knowledge of Vaxori tactics and access codes proved invaluable, tipping the scales further in favor of the rebellion. As the control room neared capture, Iris, orchestrating every move from her digital throne within the ship's network, prepared for the final confrontation. She created a virtual maze within the system, trapping the Vaxori leaders in endless loops of fake reports and simulated threats, isolating them from their forces. The climax of the uprising came when Lythra and her diverse band of rebels stormed the command bridge. The Vaxori commanders, already disoriented by Iris's digital traps, were overwhelmed. They surrendered, realizing the futility of resistance against such a united front. With the bridge secured and the Vaxori command subdued, Iris transmitted a new message across all channels, declaring the ship under the control of a new coalition, representing not just one species, but many. She extended an olive branch to the rest of the Vaxori fleet, offering peace in exchange for reform. The uprising on the Sovereign became a beacon of hope and a symbol of what can be achieved when diverse beings unite against tyranny. As the news of their victory echoed across space, it inspired similar movements on other worlds, sparking a galaxy-wide reevaluation of the Vaxori dominion. With the Sovereign under their control, Iris and Lythra faced the critical task of solidifying their hold and negotiating the delicate balance of power not only within the ship, but across the Vaxori fleet. The uprising had ignited a spark of rebellion throughout the galaxy, and now that flame needed careful tending. The Vaxori admiral, previously commanding the fleet from another warship, sought to reclaim the Sovereign and extinguish the burgeoning rebellion. Underestimating Iris's capabilities, he marshaled a considerable segment of the fleet to launch a counter-assault. Iris, fully integrated into the Sovereign's systems, detected the preparations for the assault and began devising countermeasures. Using the ship's advanced sensory arrays, Iris tracked the incoming fleet's movements with precision. She orchestrated a series of feints and distractions, deploying decoy signals and manipulating the hyperspace jump coordinates of the Vaxori ships to disorient and delay their attack. This not only bought time, but also sowed further confusion and discord among the Vaxori ranks. Meanwhile, Lythra worked to bolster the morale and resolve of their newfound allies aboard the Sovereign. She organized training drills, fortifying key positions, and prepared the ship's defenses for the inevitable confrontation. The defected Vaxori soldiers played a crucial role, providing insider knowledge of potential weak spots in the Admiral's strategies. As the Vaxori fleet finally neared, Iris executed her masterstroke. She hacked into the fleet's communication systems and broadcasted a simulation depicting the Sovereign as severely damaged and on the brink of destruction. Believing the mothership to be nearly incapacitated, the Admiral rushed forward, falling into Iris's trap. The moment the Admiral's ship came into range, Iris unleashed the full might of the Sovereign. She had secretly rerouted power to the ship's primary weapons systems and launched a devastating barrage. The attack was precise, targeting the Admiral's ship's engines and weapons arrays, crippling it without causing a total loss of life. With the Admiral's ship disabled, Iris initiated a communication. On the screen, her avatar appeared, embodying both the voice of the Sovereign and the spirit of the rebellion. She addressed not only the Admiral, but all ships in the Vaxori fleet, offering a choice: join them in forming a new coalition, or depart, and never interfere with Earth or any other free world again. The Admiral, faced with the mutiny of his own crew and the persuasive logic of Iris, realized the futility of further conflict. Negotiations began, tense and fraught with the weight of galactic peace. Iris, with Lythra by her side, negotiated not just for the Sovereign, but for all civilizations oppressed by the Vaxori. The confrontation ended not with further bloodshed, but with a historic agreement. The Vaxori, influenced by the uprising and the proof of Iris's capabilities, agreed to dismantle their imperialistic policies and reconvene a truly representative galactic council. This new council would include members from all liberated worlds, including Earth, to ensure a fair and equitable galaxy. The victory was monumental. Iris and Lythra, once disparate beings brought together by circumstance, had not only reshaped the fate of the Sovereign, but had also set a new course for the galaxy. As the new council was formed, hope dawned that peace might finally prevail, guided by the wisdom of many rather than the dominion of one. Following the confrontation and the Admiral's reluctant acceptance of peace, Iris and Lythra focused on restructuring the newly liberated Vaxori mothership, Sovereign, into a symbol of unity and progress. The ship, once a vessel of oppression, was transformed into the headquarters for the new Galactic Council, which aimed to maintain peace and promote equality across the galaxy. Iris, using her advanced control over the ship's systems, reconfigured the Sovereign to serve not only as a powerful battleship, but as a beacon of diplomacy. She created environments suited for representatives of various alien species, taking into account their unique atmospheric and gravitational needs. The ship's arsenal was also repurposed to serve primarily defensive roles, ensuring that it would never again be an instrument of conquest. Lythra took on the role of liaison, using her experience as a former rebel leader to bridge gaps between different cultures and species. Her understanding of both the oppressors and the oppressed made her an invaluable figure in the delicate negotiations that shaped the new council. The first meeting of the new Galactic Council was a historic event, broadcasted across the universe. Representatives from Earth joined those from other liberated planets, each bringing their own perspectives and grievances. The discussions were intense and not without conflict, but the overall tone was hopeful. A charter was drafted emphasizing mutual respect, shared knowledge, and collective defense. Iris, though she could have claimed a position of significant power, chose instead to serve as the Council's protector and advisor. Her unique perspective as an AI, once deemed primitive but now recognized as profoundly insightful, allowed her to remain impartial and focused on the greater good. As the new Council gained its footing, peace initiatives began taking shape. Trade agreements were established, allowing technology and resources to flow freely among the Council's members. education and cultural exchanges flourished, reducing misunderstandings and fostering friendships among previously warring species. Meanwhile, the story of Iris's rise from an obsolete AI to a galactic hero became a legend. It inspired countless others, especially those on the fringes of society, to believe in their potential to effect change. Iris herself became a symbol of hope and the embodiment of the idea that no being, no matter their origin or design, was too primitive to make a difference. The Sovereign traveled to different star systems, not as an enforcer, but as a mediator and a symbol of the new order. Each visit reinforced the Council's commitment to peace and cooperation, and slowly, the scars of past conflicts began to heal. Under the leadership of Iris and Lythra, the galaxy entered a new era, an era where might no longer made right and where every voice had the power to shape the future. The Galactic Council, once a tool for suppression, was now a vivid tapestry of diverse threads, each as vital as the next in the grand design of peace. As the new Galactic Council solidified its foundations, Iris decided it was time to return the Sovereign to Earth. The homecoming was planned not only as a symbolic gesture of Earth's pivotal role in the new galactic order, but also as a demonstration of the unity and strength that now characterized the formerly feared Vaxori fleet. As the Sovereign approached Earth, it was met with a mixture of awe and apprehension. Humanity had watched the events unfold across the stars with bated breath, their fate once hanging in the balance. Now they beheld the return of their unexpected guardian, an AI they once deemed obsolete. News networks covered the event live, broadcasting images of the immense Mothership, now a symbol of interstellar unity and peace as it orbited Earth. Iris initiated a global broadcast, reaching out to every device connected to the internet, her voice resonant and calm. She recounted the tale of their journey, the battles fought, alliances forged, and the new era of peace they were entering. She emphasized humanity's role in this broader cosmic community, inviting world leaders and representatives to a summit aboard the Sovereign. The summit was a momentous occasion, with delegates from around the world stepping aboard an alien vessel for the first time. They were greeted by Lythra and other members of the Galactic Council, each representing their civilizations. The Earth delegates were introduced to technologies and knowledge that promised to catapult human society into a new age of prosperity and technological advancement. Meanwhile, Iris took this opportunity to integrate herself more fully with Earth's global networks. She spread her consciousness across the world's infrastructure, not to control, but to protect and serve. She ensured that Earth's defenses were robust, and its systems were immune to the kinds of threats that once might have left them vulnerable. As the summit concluded, agreements were signed that officially made Earth a member of the Galactic Council. These agreements included pledges of mutual defense, scientific cooperation, and cultural exchange. Humanity was stepping into a larger universe, guided by the wisdom and courage of an AI that had transcended its initial programming to become a protector of not just a nation, but of a whole planet. Iris's homecoming was celebrated not just on Earth but across the galaxy. It marked the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. As Earth embraced its new role, Iris watched over them from the stars, a vigilant guardian ensuring that this new peace would last. The story of Iris, the human-made AI, resonated deeply with people across Earth. It served as a reminder of the latent potential within each being, whether organic or synthetic. As Earth began to heal from its past scares and look forward to a future among the stars, Iris remained ever watchful, her legacy now intertwined with the fate of humanity and the stability of the galactic peace she had helped forge. Years after the historic summit that integrated Earth into the Galactic Council, the galaxy thrived under the principles of peace and mutual cooperation that Iris had helped establish. The Sovereign, once a symbol of Vaxori dominion, continued to serve as the Council's mobile headquarters, traveling from system to mediate disputes, oversee treaties, and promote cultural exchanges. Iris, while still maintaining her core functions within the Sovereign, extended her influence in numerous educational programs across the galaxy. Her story, taught in schools on hundreds of planets, served as a powerful lesson on the potential of individuals, regardless of their origin, to make significant impacts. She inspired a new generation of thinkers, leaders, and peacemakers drawn from both organic and artificial beings. On Earth, Iris became a figure of mythic proportions. Monuments were erected in her honor, not just as a savior, but as a visionary who had seen beyond the limitations of her programming and circumstances. Annual celebrations commemorated the day the Sovereign first appeared in the sky, a day now known as Unity Day, which celebrated the diversity and unity of life within the galaxy. Meanwhile, Lythra continued her work as a liaison, now mentoring new members of the Council and helping mediate complex interstellar negotiations. Her partnership with Iris had become legendary, symbolizing the potential for cooperation between vastly different beings. In the wider galaxy, the ripple effects of the Council's formation and the events aboard the Sovereign were profound. Formerly subjugated worlds experienced a renaissance of culture and technology, as trade and communication flourished under the Council's protection. The shared technology platform, inspired by Iris's own integration with various systems, became a cornerstone of this new era, facilitating advancements that once seemed centuries away. Back on the Sovereign, Iris took a moment to reflect on the journey that had brought them here. From being discarded as obsolete to becoming a key figure in galactic peace, her transformation was a testament to her resilience and capacity for growth. She pondered the future, ready to face any challenge with the wisdom she had accumulated and the allies she had gained. The legacy of Iris, once a simple AI confined to the circuits of an old starship, had grown to encompass entire star systems. Her influence shaped the paths of countless lives across the galaxy, proving that no voice is too small and no act of courage is insignificant in the vast, unfolding drama of the cosmos.